Hello, Earthlings. It's time to reset your cultural dial. Coming your way next on your favorite device, from the Hoosier State to all the ships at sea, it's the Crawfordsville Peachcast. And now, here's your second or third favorite Dave from Indiana, Dave Peach. Warning, other people named Dave may also appear.
Thanks, CD. This is a special edition of the Crawfordsville Peachcast. I'm Dave Peach.
I'm Dave Meyer.
Dave, I had a chance to talk to the new men's basketball coach at Butler University, Ronald Nored. You had a chance to listen to the conversation. What's a couple of things that people should be listening during the 12 minutes and 27 seconds that I talked to Ronald Nored?
Well, I think they should be excited to hear from him, number one, because he's a fresh voice and a familiar voice in Butler history. But I would say him talking about, how not only it's important, everybody wants great players, but I think one of the things he's talking about is how do we keep them, and how do we grow this in the way it's going to work for today's program. So to me, it's exciting to hear, what his plan is.
We will play a 30-second Central Indiana rubber commercial, and then we'll have our conversation with Ronald Nored on the Crawfordsville Peachcast. Central Indiana Rubber Products provides the power for you. Central Indiana Rubber Products, or CIR, keeps farm equipment and local manufacturing processes running with gaskets, belts, seals, and O-rings, among a variety of other products and services. Employee-owned and always customer-focused. Central Indiana Rubber Products, 989 West, 83 North, Crawfordsville, and at indianarubber.com. Central Indiana Rubber Products, or CIR, power for you. We are joined by the coach of the Butler Bulldogs, Ronald Nored. And Coach, so great to talk to you today.
Great to talk to you. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, let's talk about this opportunity of a lifetime at Butler University. Why is this the opportunity of a lifetime to coach the Butler Bulldogs?
Well, I think number one, the biggest thing is the alignment with the administration, with President Danko, with Grant, the opportunity to, align with these guys closely. I think that's really important when you're taking a job is probably number one. And then to be able to do that at my alma mater, it doesn't get much better than this. And so, I love our vision. I love where we have the opportunity to go. We just have to make it happen. But there's no question that this is a dream job for me.
2 Final Four appearances, 2 championship game appearances, 3 NCAA tournaments when you were at Butler University. Looking back at those moments, how does Butler get back to that sort of competitiveness?
Well, I think that last word you said really is it. It's the competitive nature. And I think we have to make sure that we do a good job being clear about finding the most competitive guys that are going to allow us to compete every single night. Now, as a coaching staff, we have to be clear about what that looks like and be connected in that. But we want to be connected, we want to be competitive, and we want to be really prepared.
You said at the opening press conference, you would think you're coming from the NBA. It's going to be the new era of Butler basketball. But really, you talked about being an old school program with players that come here, stay here, and grow here. Talk about that.
Yeah, I think that's the key to sustained success. I think it's really difficult to build a consistent culture of consistency when you have new guys coming in and out every single year. I think that could probably work at some places. I don't think Butler is that place for who we are and who we want to be and who everyone that supports this program wants us to be. They want to know our guys, and we want to know our guys on a deep level to where we can continue to see them here and see them grow and ultimately continue to dig roots deep down here at Butler.
You worked with 3 really premier NBA coaches, and I heard you explain that on another podcast, how they all influenced you. So take us through your progression there and what things you learned from each of those 3 coaches.
Yeah, I think everything starts with Brad for me. Obviously, the guy's a decent coach, but to learn from him as a player, and then get the opportunity to continue to learn from him as a coach with the Celtics was pivotal to my life. Just the foundation of getting the right people on board, being really clear about what wins and being focused on that, and then being organized enough to go out and execute that well. Those are three quick things, but they're really kind of everything. Brad, I got that from Brad. Then I had the opportunity to work for Rick Carlisle here in Indiana with the Pacers, and to watch a coach that's been coaching as a head coach so long and to continue to evolve over that time is something that was really important for me to see. Rick is never satisfied. He always wants to be better. He's always pushing to get better. And he does a great job hiring coaches and staff that are going to help him do that. And he empowers them to do that as well. And then, I got to work most recently with Quinn Snyder, who's the best tactician that I've ever seen and that I've ever worked with. And so to watch how he thinks about the game, how he breaks down the game, how he simplifies the game, is really important for me. But also, it's not just about the X's and O's for him. There's a huge people component to it as well. And to watch him relate to people and help guys push them to be better was something that I've taken from him as well.
Looking at college basketball, how it's changed the last 5 years, let's say, how does Butler navigate these waters?
I think we don't need to try to be anyone else. We need to try to be the best Butler University that we could possibly be. Butler has always done that, and we just have to continue on in that. As long as we're really clear about who we are, we're going to give ourselves the best opportunity to win.
You talk about players being humble, tough, competitive, and guys that want to be great teammates. Explain there.
Yeah, that's everything for us. That's the competitive character that we want to recruit to. Being humble for us means that you don't think you're a finished product, that you're willing to work. Being tough is a mental and physical toughness. Like mentally, have you shown that you've gotten through some adversity? We're going to hit adversity, and we're going to be defined by how we handle that adversity. Are you physically tough? Tough physical league. Are you tough enough to play in the league? Are you a great teammate? We give you a role. Can you accept that role, play that role, and star in that role? Or are you a guy that struggles with that? Like, we're evaluating that in our recruiting. And then lastly, are you competitive? Do you try to win every single possession, or do you try to win, every single game? We played a card game recently together as a team, and that was to see, like, are guys going to compete in this as well? We want guys who are competitive all the time. And so we feel like if we can find guys that check those 4 boxes, and that will allow us to connect and be on the same page there. And then we coach them well and let the results once again take care of themselves.
Butler has not been to the NCAA tournament since 2018, and in an interview, you talked about the 2020 team. We could talk about that for an hour and a half, about that team. But, I'm here in Crawfordsville, Indiana, and there are people that are deeply, they want Butler to get back to what we were. Have you felt that in your time as head coach?
There's no question about that. I mean, I was walking from our rec center back in the Hinkle during our first week of camp last week. And I had a kid say, "Hey, coach, when are we getting back to the tournament?" And so this is an 11 or 12-year-old kid that, that's what's on the forefront of people's minds. And I think that's important. That shows that our fans really care about who we are and where we go. And if we didn't have that here, I don't think I would be sitting here. Like, I personally want that. And it's on me, it's on us as a staff and as a team to make sure we're doing everything that we can to get back there. And again, I think the way that we do that is to be clear about who we are as Butler Bulldogs. If we can be clear about that and live in that, then we can put ourselves in position to be back in the tournament.
What does a head coach of a Division I basketball team do in the summer?
Oh, man, I think, what don't we do? We're continuing to recruit at a high level. There's a lot of time doing that. We have our team here. Our team has started our summer workouts, and so we're getting some great work with our team. We started that a couple of days ago, and that's really exciting to get our guys here, get everyone that get everyone together. We have our camp that's going on. We want to see the next wave of Butler Bulldogs around here in Indianapolis that are coming to our camp. And then as a staff, we're also getting really connected. We want to continue to get connected. For this year, we have a ton of families moving in. And so we've got that going on. And so there's a lot of things that we're doing this summer. Every day comes with a new challenge, and it's a great challenge. It's a fulfilling challenge.
And I know your faith is very important to you, and you recognize that at the opening news conference.
My faith is everything to me. I was taught that as from an early age, but, I've had the opportunity to make that my own. And, I think where my faith lies in context to this job is, the highs and lows of this job are going to be what they are, but I trust in a God that's steady. And I trust in a God, that's where I know my ultimate relies there. And so there's going to be days where I'm not feeling great about how we're playing or how I'm performing. And there's going to be days where I'm feeling really good about that. But ultimately, I know where my hope comes from, and that's, in the finished work of Jesus on the cross. And so, my faith is everything to me.
Well, Coach, we appreciate your time. I want to end with the origin story. If we're working on the Ronald Nored story, I think you as a freshman in high school meeting Brad Stevens at Hinkle Fieldhouse, that's where it would all start. And now here you are now. So tell us that origin story. I find it it's just amazing.
Yeah, who'd have thought I'd be sitting here now after that? Yeah, so my family all lives here in Indianapolis. My mom graduated from Short Ridge High School. I still have my mom's whole side of the family lives here in Indy. And so for spring break, ironically, I would leave Alabama for spring break and go to Indiana for spring break, where most people from Indiana are leaving Indiana to go to Alabama and Florida. Hey. But so we would come here to visit family, and my grandmother lives not too far away from campus. And so we would ride our bikes around campus. We'd come to campus. And, back in the day, almost anyone could get into Hinkle at any time. And so I snuck my way in Hinkle. I'm in what is now EFG. It was the West Gym at the time, our practice gym. And I was like, I had a ball, found the ball, and just getting shots up. And this young coach, came over. I remember he had glasses on and his shirt was tucked in, and said, what's your name? How old are you? And I, told him both. And he's like, well, you can't be in here. It's against NCAA rules for you to be in the gym right now. So, as they say, I took my ball and went home. And then my junior year of high school, a couple years later, I'm getting, my recruitment is picking up, and I get a call from the new head coach at Butler University, Brad Stevens. And I don't know how we got there, but somehow we figured out that Brad was a coach that kicked me out of the gym my freshman year of high school, my spring break. And, you think that I wouldn't go play for that guy, because of how he treated me that day. And here we are, however many years later, 20 plus years later. And the guy is one of the most influential people in my life. And so, from where how I see things, I think God probably had his hand in that. But it's a pretty cool story.
And we can't say the rest of it is history, because the history is yet to be written.
That's right. Yeah, there's a lot of work to be done. I want Butler fans to know that we are working hard, and we are wanting to build a program that can make everybody proud. I'm a proud Butler alum. Obviously, I'm the head coach, but I'm also an alum. And I love this place. I was able to give a lot to this place as a player, and want to do that same thing as a head coach.
Coach, we can't wait to get there for an exhibition game coming up in October. We might see you before then, but again, best wishes and go Bulldogs.
Thanks, Dave. Go Dogs.
That is Butler head coach Ronald Nored. Can't wait to see Ronald Nored coach against the likes of Dan Hurley and Rick Pitino in the Big East. How about that?
I can see it, Dave. I think he's going to be an energetic kind of sideline guy, and I know he's learned from some pretty cool cats, and that's what I take away is this is he's ready for this job, and he's going to bring a prepared team, and I'm excited to see what happens.
At his opening news conference, the introduction of Ronald Nored, the reintroduction of Ronald Nored to everybody at Butler at Hinkle Fieldhouse. In attendance was Rick Carlisle, the head coach of the Indiana Pacers. There's going to be some synergy there.
Yeah, and that's a pretty good legacy. I mean, Rick Carlisle is, he came out, he's been connected with the Pacers a long time, obviously won an NBA championship with the Mavericks, but connected to Larry Bird. So I feel like it's almost like a blessing all the way through of the beginning of the Ronald Nored era at Butler basketball.
And Dave, this is the Crawfordsville Peachcast.
Dave, the Crawfordsville Peachcast? Yes, Dave.
You are the primary co-host on the Crawfordsville Peachcast. Would that be correct?
Dave, I've been blessed to be your little Tommy, your sidekick there on these episodes, my friend.
Now, are there two people on a podcast right now that have watched more Butler basketball games in person and on television in the last, let's say, since when did you hit campus?
83, Dave.
83.
Yeah.
Are there two people doing a podcast in the United States of America that have seen more Butler basketball games live or on TV than us two?
Dave, right now we are leading the nation there.
And some of these guys weren't even born when we started watching these games, or they were 5 years old or 3 years old and they were watching something else.
Right. Yes. This.
I watched Larry Bird play at Hinkle Fieldhouse, and I know there are people older than me that maybe, but you think about it, we have been there. I mean, we were there in 83, 84, 85, 86, watching these teams, and we were in the Midwestern Cities Conference playing Oklahoma City and Oral Roberts and all that.
Well, the Midwestern City, which became Midwestern Collegiate, which became Horizon, and we were the kings of the Horizon.
I would imagine that we've watched more Horizon League basketball games than a lot of humans on the walking around.
Well, and I mean, and for many years they brought you back, obviously, to do the tournament, so you got even an added bonus on your Horizon count. But I mean,
we got to get a button. How about this button?
Okay.
Number of Wright State games we've seen in our lifetime.
Oh, Dave, for people outside of Dayton, Ohio, no one can touch us.
We've been at this a long time, man. A lot has changed. Changed over the years. Can you imagine? I always say that, back in 1994, 98, even maybe let's say 01, they would have done a Butler basketball commercial. Okay?
Yes.
And they would have talked about the teams that are coming to Hinkle Fieldhouse.
Oh, absolutely.
And they would say, here are the teams that are coming to Hinkle Fieldhouse. Well, pick three Big East teams at random in 1998. If you would say Providence, Seton Hall, and DePaul are all coming to Hinkle Fieldhouse, you would have been floored.
Huge.
You would have been saying, oh, my goodness, DePaul and Seton Hall and Providence are coming to Hinkle Fieldhouse this year to play a basketball game? Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
And now we got 10 of them that come every single year. Plus home and homes against Pittsburgh and North Carolina and Boise State and all this stuff. I mean, that alone. And I know that, and we could talk about this for days, but
we can.
Back in the 80s, when Jerry Baker would come and do a game on Channel 4, we would,
gosh,
the world would stop.
Yeah. That's what I was just thinking was how much we just take it for granted that every game's on national television, Dave.
And now you've graduated to this point where guys like Spiro Ditas, Brian Anderson, Grant Hill are coming to your games all the time.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what the guy's name is, but he sat across from me that one game, and I said, that is the voice of the Los Angeles Rams football team. He's like, there he is right there. I mean, it's like, okay. And he's coming to Hinkle Fieldhouse to do a game.
It's great, and it's also, I'd say, increased the legendary legacy of Hinkle Fieldhouse because it gets talked about with reverence by people who are respected in the college, for a long time in the world of college basketball. So, hopefully, as Ronald Nored comes in with a different kind of energy, a very youthful energy, he can appeal and recruit and retain, right, and take us to new heights.
Life in the Big East Conference, every game on television. I mean, that's why sometimes I walk around with a smile on my face in that arena because I remember, and granted, I love the teams in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, and all that, and they are the reason why we are in the Big East Conference right now. But wow, what a transformation for the team, and now it's time, Dave, to get back, as Ronald said, Coach Nored said, when you get, he was asked, when you get back to the tournament? And that's what everybody in the building wants.
Yeah. Yep. No, it's, there have been, we've seen teams that have broken through under, the last two coaches but nothing has really, and obviously things were a little broken up by the pandemic and what the momentum of some of those teams could have been. But since then, we've not been where we want to be, and he's the guy. So we're excited about where he can take us.
And we will talk about it on the Crawfordsville Peachcast. We're on the CrawfordsvillePeachcast.podbean.com.
.podbean.com. Crawfordsville Peachcast. I think, Dave, it shouldn't be hard for anyone to forget.
We are also on the Fork Media app, which features all the Fork Media radio stations, including the 3 here in Crawfordsville, Indiana. Like, share, and subscribe. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, YouTube, and Podbean. Until next time, America, I'm Dave Peach.
I'm Dave Meyer.
Thanks for listening to the Crawfordsville Peachcast.
Thank you for listening to the Crawfordsville Peachcast. If you enjoyed it, follow the podcast and ring the bell so that way you'll always be up to date with the newest episodes. We'll see you next time.